Welcome back, everybody. Hello, and today we are going to talk about my language learning journey from the start to now. And it's quite a long video, so go grab some popcorn or a beverage or a snack and sit down and watch this video. This is going to be about my language learning journey. So, we're going to start off from childhood. I had a Nintendo DS and they had the My Language Coach games. I had Japanese, French, and Spanish, and those were my first times being really exposed to learning a foreign language. And I feel like it was pretty good exposure for the most part. And then that kind of died down until middle school. In middle school, I was just dabbling around with the translator app I had on my phone or like my iPod or something, and I was just like, let's just try to learn languages. And then I developed a passion for it, and then I got some language books for the holidays and whatnot, and started studying languages a little bit more seriously. Um, and the languages that I started studying seriously were Spanish, French, German, Mandarin Chinese, Japanese, and Turkish. That was like the start. And I have dabbled on Duolingo with Italian and Portuguese as well at that point, and like used innovative language in just general YouTube videos. But I was mainly exposed to Japanese, and so then I was doing like the language practice hangouts. If you had Google Plus back in the day, you know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry if this makes you feel old, but yeah, I did that for a little bit, especially for Turkish or multilingual, and I also helped people learn English and tutor English as well, like help coach them through English, which gave me good exposure, um, especially for Hebrew and Spanish. And so then I took a brief pause because I realized I was a part of the LGBTQIA plus community. Therefore, I literally decided that I need to take a break, and then I was struggling with mental health on and off. I did take Japanese in high school, and then in university, I did take French. I also did dabble around with Korean as well, around this time. And yeah, like I had some decent proficiency in Japanese and French and Spanish, but that was pretty much it. Like I didn't have proficiency really in anything else. Um so I was trying to get back into it during like 2021, because like it was still COVID, and I did some language learning during COVID as well, especially with Japanese. Duolingo was like my nighttime routine essentially because of my insomnia. So that was great. Um but the cool thing is that I started dabbling with other languages and whatnot. And then in 2021, I bought a Hindi book and was starting to learn Hindi. And then I got a head injury, I got a concussion, and so that has basically essentially been on the back burner ever since. And I want to learn Hindi eventually. Might be a project for next year or the year after, but I'm really interested in Hindi, so who knows? It might come up earlier, it might come up later. Who knows? Whatever the universe decides. Um and then in 2022, I got COVID at the end of 2021. So at the start of 2022, I did the Korean Duolingo, and it kept me company while I had COVID. So that was a whole trip in itself, and I retained some of the vocabulary from that, but not a lot. Um but it was a good way to pass time when I had COVID because I was just really struggling with COVID. And then when I was done with COVID, it kind of like slipped away, and yeah, that was a thing. And then in December, January-ish, my now ex-boyfriend, we decided to learn Czech together, and that just didn't really fully happen because we ultimately ended up breaking up in February of this year. So it was like a mutual decision, like we both knew it was going to happen type of situation. It wasn't like anything, oh, the tea was spilled, you know. Um but I have no ill wishes on him. He was a nice person, so yeah, that was the situation. And then I wanted to learn Italian for a guy in May, and then we just didn't end up being compatible. But it really got me into language learning again. So I looked up some polyglots on Instagram and on social media and started following them. And then I stumbled upon the polyglot challenge that Michelle is doing currently. And I decided to tag along and join. And I was also looking for some queer polyglots and language learners as well to become friends with and have a little queer language learning community. And ultimately, it's brought me out to start really taking a deeper dive into languages like Spanish and German and Korean, and having me work on some stuff that I wanted to work on, and me actually eventually getting into Hebrew, which I have started like last week at the time of filming this video. Um, so like the end of July, like the end of July, like July 27, 28 time, and it was really, really, really fantastic. And I love the fact that there's a whole community willing to support one another, and it ultimately wanted me to spark my passion again. And I've been continuing with the challenge, and it's put me to the test for sure, but also it helped me realize that I can still do my passions and still do what I need to get done at the end of the day. And so I kind of feel like that I'm becoming a better person because I've done the challenge and really got back into language learning. Like, Turkish really sparked me a while ago because I was interested in Turkey. It was between Europe and Asia, and I also even dabbled in Ukrainian once Duolingo was announcing that they were going to donate funds to Ukraine. And so I decided to dabble with Ukrainian for a little bit. I do eventually want to learn Ukrainian, but resources are hard to access right now. So I will be doing Russian in quarter 4, which is going to hopefully be a segue to Ukrainian. Um, but I've also dabbled with Russian before. What other languages I'm thinking of? I've done a little bit of Ojibwe, and Ojibwe is going to be a project in quarter 4 as well. Um, right now I'm doing Dutch. I have dabbled a little bit with Swedish. I've done Lithuanian. I just finished studying Lithuanian for the moment, but we'll probably pick it back up next year. I've dabbled with Swahili previously. I've dabbled with Arabic previously, Farsi. Mm, I'm trying to think of other languages. Vietnamese, I'm still working on, but will stop temporarily at the end of August, so I can work on some other projects. And I'm also really looking forward to what future language projects I have because I genuinely feel like this journey is going to get me to open minded people in like-minded people and people who are genuinely kind and friendly with one another. And even though there are going to be struggles learning the language, it could also lead to employment opportunities as well. And that's also why I'm wanting to pick up languages again and give me a more connected experience to Judaism because I'm Jewish. I'm learning Hebrew and I plan on learning Yiddish as well and Ladino. Um, and maybe I might pick up some Greek. Croatian is on the agenda as well. Maybe I might pick up Romanian, Kazakh, Uzbek, Tajik is definitely on my radar. Cantonese is possibly on my radar. Tagalog is definitely on my radar with Indonesian. Um, and maybe an indigenous South American language if I can find resources for them in either English or Espanol. Um, and I really want to be good at Spanish eventually because yo necesito español en los Estados Unidos y para trabajar. Um, if you want to correct my Spanish, please correct it down below. But yeah, like work isn't. I need it for work, and I also need it in the United States as a whole. Because Spanish is also widely spoken here, and so it español es muy importante y es muy increíble, pero español is muy bonito. I like the Spanish language. It's amazing. It's beautiful, and I really want to pursue this language like I'm pursuing Hebrew or like I want to pursue Ojibwe, which is to be at a native speaker level or close to a native speaker level as I can. And I'm sitting here at my desk and I'm just proud of myself for picking languages back up again. It's been a really rough journey of on and off dabbling. And so I really, really, really do appreciate all of you for subscribing and following me on Instagram and threads at diana.lingual. And I will give y'all a quarter 3 update, which will be a halfway update. And it should be out soon around the halfway mark of the quarter. And I will share what my goals were and go over my August goals and see if I've made any of them because I potentially will be ending quarter 3 goals earlier depending on my life situation. So I will keep y'all posted on that. But anyways, thank you so much for watching and I hope you subscribe, like, comment, and share this with your friends. And yeah, this is my language learning journey as it is from the start to present August 2023. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Adios.